And he had been working with some of the Karen villages in this local area to help protect the species of fish in the villages. So over the last 2 years, we've been working extensively with Bobby, who is the local guide, and the villages to create an economic benefit for the village, for them to protect the fish. So the more fish we can keep in the river, the bigger they get, the more anglers we can bring in, and it's a win-win situation for everybody. We have exclusive leases on 3 different rivers in northern Thailand, and what that allows us to do is go in and fish for the 3 different types of mahseer, and also which is a Thai mahseer, a golden mahseer, and a blue mahseer. Along with those, we also catch Burmese trout, and we also get gasup, which is a jungle perch. And the fishing can be quite spectacular. Now it is very technical. You can take one of the most technical spring creeks in the United States, and this is gonna match it. These fish are so spooky. You can't walk, within 10 feet of the bank and step on a stick and you're gonna spook your hole. So it is very technical. If you think you can just walk in here and bang fish like a tailwater in Colorado or something like that, it's a little different story. But when you do hook up, it's a thrill. These fish are on an average probably 2 to 3 kilos, which is, a 6-pound fish. We get them as big as 10 to 12 kilos on a couple of the different rivers. And like I said, they are one strong fish. They really put a big bend in the rod, a big, deep, hard pull. So we're usually fishing, quite heavy tackle for these fish. And gink them up.
Yes, that's right.
Chiang Mai fly fishing can supply all of the gear that you need for the trip here in Thailand. A lot of people come here to Thailand with their family. They are here for other purposes also, a lot of tourist type things. And if you want to go fishing for a day or two, we can supply all that gear. If you do want to bring all your own gear and come as more of a 3 or 4 or 5 day extended trip, and the best thing to do is probably bring a 6 to 8 weight rod. Can handle most of them. Now when you do get into a real big fish, it's better to have that 8 to 10 weight rod. Mahseer will take a variety of flies. They'll hit topwater, they'll hit big foam attractor flies, they'll hit small size 16 to 18 mayfly nymphs, or they'll hit streamers readily. It all depends. Sometimes the water will dictate what kind of fly you want to use and not a specific hatch. We found that it's a little bit different, and we're not trying to match a specific hatch here with the bugs. Basically, if it's a little bit faster type of water, you want to throw a streamer. You want to swing a streamer, and if it's slower moving, you want to be fishing a big foam dry attractor with a small nymph hanging off, beadhead nymph hanging off of it. I think the fishery here in Thailand would appeal to the most seasoned fly fishermen in the world, or to somebody who's only been out once or twice. If you're here in Thailand on a short vacation and you need something to do for a day, I can't find a better place to spend that day. You'd have a great time. If you're a real seasoned angler and you're looking to chalk up another species and put another notch on the bedpost, you definitely owe it to yourself to come give this a shot.
Bueno, esta es la costa del Malleo, Junín de los Andes, Neuquén. Estamos a 20 kilómetros de Junín de los Andes. Bueno, este es uno de los ríos más conocidos por la pesca con mosca. Ahora vamos a ir a pescar con mosca de media profundidad. Le vamos a poner una ninfa mediana o una bullybagger amarilla, que es con lo que se pesca a esta hora de la tarde. Bueno, aparte del viento que hay, es con lo que se está pescando ahora en esta época del tiempo, ¿no? Es pesca y devolución, y estamos a unos 20 metros de la costa del río, así que bueno, vamos a ponernos los equipos.
Traigo en mi canto el poco conocido cantar arisco del canto de mi gente, de los aludes la fuerza incontenible y de los ríos el grito del torrente, de los volcanes altivos de mi tierra. Traigo en mi sangre la lava incandescente.
Hay arcoíris, marrón, fondinari, y por la cantidad que hay, o sea, los americanos, los argentinos lo conocen por la exclusiva pesca con mosca, ¿no? Está el chimehuen y el mayero. Son dos pescas totalmente distintas. Una es, como decimos nosotros los mosqueros, una es cacería salvaje, porque en realidad no se disfruta. Uno dice, bueno, saqué una trucha de 3 kilos, pero en realidad la maltrató y la termina matando. En cambio acá es ver qué está comiendo, o jugarte por una mosca o por otra, cuál es la mosca de la suerte, no acá, o sea, es la intuición de cada uno.
Soy el mensaje distinto que alza el vuelo por el paisaje increíble de la nieve, con la presencia mañanera de la bruma y el idioma musical de las vertientes y el caudal misterioso de los vientos que nos diera este acento diferente.
Yo hace 11 años que hago y practico esto, y bueno, cada vez que viene alguien, algún amigo, y bueno, este lugar que es paradisíaco, agradezco a Dios de estar acá, ¿no?
So at some point, you're bound to get hooked by a fly. One of the best ways to prevent that, especially getting hooked in the face, is make sure you wear polarized glasses. You do not want to get hooked in your eye. Polarized glasses will prevent that fly as it's waving back and forth from penetrating your eye. Also, you want to make sure that once you do remove the hook, that you treat it with some type of antibacterial, maybe Neosporin, and put a Band-Aid on it, clean it, wash it, because that fly that you are pulling out of your arm usually has slime from fish's mouth or debris from the water on it, and you don't want that in your bloodstream. So make sure you take good care of that. So here's an instance where we did get hooked in the arm. The best way to remove a fly when you've been hooked is make sure you leave about 1 foot of tippet attached to the fly, okay? You don't want to cut off the tippet at the fly and yank the fly back out, especially if there's a barb, because you're simply going to tear your skin and it's going to hurt even more. So in this case, this hook is buried, and I'm going to take the tippet material and I'm going to wrap it around the bend of the hook. That's why I left at least 1 foot of it still attached to the fly. And then I'm going to bring that material of monofilament underneath the bend of the hook, right against my skin. As I pull this monofilament away from the fly, I'm going to take my middle finger and I'm going to push on the eye of the fly. Those two motions at once usually pop the fly right out. Let's see if we can do that. There's the pulling of the monofilament, and there's the push, and there it's out.